Hi, everybody. It is Sunday evening on the 30th of September. I cannot believe it's October 1st. And I have Val with us tonight, but we are recording, so those of you who couldn't join us can know what we're going to talk about. So I want to talk about a couple of things here. Hopefully everybody is following along or they've printed off their ISA Life Success Plan. So last weekend here was ICU in Chicago. We debriefed that a little bit on Wednesday's call, and I have to say, this and this last year's celebration of all 4 years of going to events were probably my two favorite events. That they've really done some tweaking in some of their presentation and verbiage, and one of the things they were talking about is how on pages 4 and 5 in the book, there are scripts for you to follow. And they're scripts about what to say when you're reaching out to people. Excuse me. And so one of the things they were talking about at ICU was how they really want to change the name of this from scripts to guidelines. Because what happens is people will take this verbatim and literally copy and paste. And Kathy Savage, those of you who have not seen Kathy Savage present yet, she's a Boston girl. She's pretty straightforward, doesn't hold anything back. And she gave the example. She's like, I live in Boston. There are no unicorns and rainbows in my world. She's like, so if I were to come off with this very flowery script, everybody would know this is not me. I'm a straightforward gal. Shoot it like it is. And then, if you live in California, your soul is calm with the water. And, she's like, so depending on where you live, depending on your personality, make this sound like you. Like, take the idea, and especially because a lot of us within our team may have mutual friends. So if we're copying verbatim, word for word, it's not authentic. It's not us. That I love the idea, but really use these as guidelines versus copy and paste scripts. So I definitely wanted to relay that message and to kind of remind you guys to go back and look at page 4 and 5 because these scripts are fantastic and it will give you ideas of how to make it sound like you. So I should have brought my notes, and I'm trying to think of where my notes were. I think I filed them already. So on ISA Journey Success, I actually finally had a chance to kind of debrief some of my my things that I learned and liked from the ICU conference. And I'm looking to pull it up because it's called Favorite Quotes at ICU. So there's a couple in here that I really want to highlight that I loved. Downloads. Here we go. Okay. And the one of them is, some people get very nervous to share their why, or they can't get out of their own head because they think they may be judged or wonder what people are thinking. And so they really talked about, and I've heard this before at conferences, it's really never about us. It's all coming from a servant's heart, and who out there is praying and desperately searching for a solution, whether that's a physical solution or a financial solution or both. And so a couple quotes that they talked about dealing around that is who else's why is waiting for you to commit. And I think that commitment she's talking commitment on our boldness to share that we have this gift to offer. And I call it coming out of the ISA closet, like to be actively talking to people because, they may, again, be desperately searching, but if you're never coming out saying we have a solution, then they don't know we have it. The other one that I really like that's very similar to that is a story not shared is not serving anyone. And I just thought both of those came from such great posture and servants' hearts. And I think that's where we need to get out of our own heads and out of our own way. So another couple things that were really cute is they said sharing your story is like an Oreo cookie. That we all know the best part of the Oreo is the inside. So the outsides, the one outside black layer is your ability to connect. The middle is the ooey gooey part of your story. And the other outside hard layer is sharing a story. And really that's as simple as the steps are, is we want to connect with people. We want to be able to share our 30-second story. And then we use a tool because the tools are duplicatable. And when you make this look duplicatable, people are more likely to follow your lead and try and do it because they're like, well, I can do that. I can share something off of iSamovie. And it makes the whole process much simpler. And then they're willing to be bold and step out in faith as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the other thing that we talked about on Wednesday's call is creating your own 30-second story. I think it's more about creating multiple 30-second stories. Because, and I'm going to use some of the people I had on my call Wednesday as examples, Julie and Christy, who were on the call Wednesday, neither one of them were about weight loss when they came into this. They're both high fitness people. They were about energy, being tired mamas, and needing to build lean muscle and their performance at the gym, getting better results. And so I said, since weight loss wasn't in your wheelhouse, use us who weight loss is in our wheelhouse as our story, borrow our stories, but then create a 30-second story for I needed more energy. Create that 30-second story of I need a second stream of income. Create a 30-second story for weight loss so that when you're meeting somebody and you're asking questions, what are you looking for? How can I serve you? What solutions do you need? Mm-hmm. You know, you're not going to share a weight loss story to somebody who's looking for better results at the gym. So there is a template that when you're on Isagenix Business, you can search 30-second story and it teaches you how to write your 30-second story. So what I am encouraging everybody to do is to write multiple 30-second stories. You know, think of what yours were or people you're going to run into in your crowd. You know, and for Val, you being a nice young 20-something, you're coming across these kids that are looking for not the cubicle job. They're looking for contribution. They're looking for a different lifestyle than, you know, I had or my parents had. So that could be one of your 30-second stories.
Yeah.
So that was a big part about our talk on Wednesday and kind of debriefing a little bit. And and again, these scripts can help you come up with it as well. Like this can be in your 30-second story also.
Yeah.
They talked about how we learn more from the no's than we do the yeses. Okay. So then the other thing they did is they gave us a challenge. And really, this is all about the more people you connect with. It's kind of like sales and it's kind of like sharing faith. We're dropping seeds, and the more people you can drop seeds to, eventually they're going to grow. And so typically what we recommend, and we've talked about this on a past call, is connecting with 3 new people a day, following up with 3 people a day, doing 1 post, doing 3 like, what did I call them? Love, touches of loves, you know, encouraging people, and doing a gratitude a day. So at ICU, they said, we're going to amp things up for the last 90 days of this year. We want you to go hard and strong for the last quarter. So they gave us a personal challenge of connecting with 10 new people a day, 10 follow-ups a day, and 1 time a day sharing your 30-second story with somebody. Okay, so I'm going to tell you it's been a week, and that's really hard to do. I have not hit my 10 numbers yet. I was close Monday and Tuesday. I hit 8 and 8 both days. But there has to be intentionality in those finding new connections. So whether that's meeting people while you're studying, meeting people on the walkway in Baylor, meeting people while you're in the grocery store line, at the airport, whatever it is. And they're like, don't be stalkerish. Don't be awkward. Make it authentic connection. But when you really listen to people, you find out so often people are looking for solutions that we have the answer to. So coming alongside that intentionality and the 10-10-1, what I told people on Wednesday is, I want you to choose your speed. Some people have a lot going on. This is your last semester of school. You know, if 3-3-1 works for you, do 3-3-1. If 5-5-1 or 10-10-1 works for you. What I'm more concerned about is that consistency. Are you doing the daily actions? So I want you guys to set your pace. But one of the really big pieces, they call it posting and praying. We don't want to post and pray, meaning you throw a post out there and just hope people come to you. However, I would say Randy and I have about 80% of our business come from Facebook. I was just looking at who's on my board of who reaches out. That social media, whether your method is Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever social media you want to use, consistency is the key there. And again, you don't want to throw out the word Isagenix. You don't want it to be only Isagenix, but it could be health tips. It could be recipes. It could be a fitness workout. It could be authentic connection with somebody. It could be getting your ISA wallet deposits on and being grateful on Monday mornings. It could be transformations. I am a believer of having at least 2, if not 3 transformations a week, because it is the transformations that will create the curiosity and eventually get them to reach out to you, because they're like, oh man, if I could only feel that way or look that way. So I've talked probably to most people one-on-one, but I wanted to kind of come together in group coaching about the intentionality of pick your pace, 3, 5, or 10, in connecting with new people, and work on your follow-up and sharing your 30-second story. And in addition to that, have 1 post a day that has to do with health and wellness and Isagenix. Again, change it up so it's not every day a transformation. And they really talked last week about don't be afraid to share the things like the community, our core values, the financial lifeline that we do have. And I found myself really in a place of I was taking for granted my Monday morning deposits. And I was like, man, how dare me? Like, both Randy and I cycle every week. Not everybody cycles every week. But I turned that into a post, so it could be like, hey, I love getting some free groceries or a discount on my groceries or my surprise money that comes on Monday mornings. Like, have fun with it, but don't be afraid to share the financial side in conjunction during the week with the wellness side. Does that make sense?
Yes. And especially for thinking through how to kind of sell it to people who are my age, who are very focused on, oh, I could never afford to do something like that. There's no way I could focus on that. Finding that piece to say, no, this is paying for itself is going to be a big part of it.
Did you see that Instagram post? It was an interview of John Stankiewicz interviewing a girl I had never heard of. I think I tagged you on it earlier this week, and you were probably still traveling.
I saw you tagged me on one of his posts, and I haven't had a chance to go back and watch it yet.
So it's about, I want to say, a 15-minute interview or so, but it's another, I think she's 23 or 24 years old, and it's the how to post on Instagram. And I'm telling you, I feel really comfortable and in my stride on Facebook. I feel like a complete failure on Instagram. That is not my mojo. You, Julie Patterson, you two, you got Instagram. I'm still trying to learn Instagram. And, but he's interviewing this girl who's showing how to use Instagram as your thing. And a lot of it you're already doing, but I think you'd still get some value and get some ideas out of seeing it. But that is the key, is mixing it up, between whichever social medias you're doing, but showing we have a value, we have solutions, we have many different things to offer, but make it fun, make it like you, and mix it up. Are you on ISA testimonials to grab testimonies?
I think I am. Let me double check.
So that is where I try and
yes,
do
I am.
team members. Okay. So I try and do team members, but if I'm not doing team members, I will pull off of, I have so many screens open, I'm looking for you again. There you are. I have, I will do either team members or pull off of ISA testimonials. The other nice thing is, as you're consistently posting, so obviously I've been posting transformations for 3.5 years now. No, 4 years now. I'll do memories on this day on Facebook and be able to pull up past posts, which again is a great time saver. That I'll make sure it's still compliant. I'll change the time frames as far as if I said last year, I can change it to 2 years ago, whatever. But that's a time-saving tool that the longer you do this, you'll be able to grab and snag some of those memories because nobody's going to remember that you posted it a year ago.
Yeah, that's true.
On that day. So that is another really fun, easy tip for you.
Yeah.
The other thing is Sunday nights is what's known as Power Post night. So when you get to executive, Cindy holds a Monday morning call every Monday at 11:30 our time. This is where we brainstorm. We come up with the team challenges. We come up with, if anybody's struggling, we try and brainstorm together. As a mastermind group, every Sunday night, we all do a power post somewhere between 6 and 8. And then all the masterminds comment for each other on the power post. So what they have learned is that the most viewed posting time of the entire week is Sunday night between 6 and 9, because people are unwinding, getting ready for the next week. So I would like our leaders as a team, and especially people in this Racing to Executive group, to get in the habit of come up with some post. And, you and Julie are really good on Instagram. If you'd rather do your power post on Instagram, just let us know. Say, hey, my power post is on Instagram, but here's the picture. Because, again, the comments are what keeps it at the top of your feed. And the comments are what's going to get more attention. And so I would like to see us as a team collectively start doing power posts as well. And then when you hit executive, don't think you need to do a separate power post. Just use that same picture and post for both the mastermind group and for our group. But it will create a lot more activity.
Yeah.
And again, it's not about posting and praying, but that consistency of posting along with your daily actions of finding new connections and following up, that's what's going to make the magic happen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay. Is it overwhelming to you to listen to this thinking of your schedule?
A little bit, yes. Thinking about following up with 3 people every day, finding time to make that happen on a daily basis right now, because I'm so overwhelmed with classes and readings and things going on like that. But as far as posting every day, that's something I just haven't been consistent on. That's really easy to do. So that doesn't feel overwhelming at this point. I'm just trying to figure out, I should watch that video that they posted. I'm trying to find where you tagged me on it right now.
So it's in ISA for Wealth, because so ISA for Wealth is Cindy's leader page. So it is in there. Here it is again. I'm going to tag you again. Okay, I just tagged you again. So her name, Sydney Litch, L-I-C-H. She's 20.
Okay. Yep, just found it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll watch that tonight.
An idea you could do too, because I think for you, shorter chunks of time do better. So, at the beginning when we first started the group coaching calls, we talked about power hours. That because of your class schedule and your work schedule, instead of one long power hour, maybe 4 15-minute segments or 3 20-minute segments, and do maybe 320 of I'm going to do this 20-minute segment of a connecting with, and so here's the hard thing. Some of the connecting can be reaching out for people on social media, but the new connecting a lot of times happen as you're walking out and about in life. So there isn't necessarily a timetable on that. That one, you want to have that happen organically as well as on the internet. But you could use one 20-minute segment to do I'm going to do all follow-ups here. And then do another 20-minute segment of, I'm going to do check-ins with my team here. And then do another 20-minute segment of, investing in you and watching a video. You know what I mean? Maybe coming up with 3 20-minute segments throughout your day. And however you want to remember that, set an alarm, put it in your calendar. That may be easier for you to swallow than thinking about, oh my gosh, I have this huge to-do list and how am I going to get it all done?
Yeah, it does. That does sound like something that would fit better, is just finding those little spaces that it's flexible during the day. Okay.
Awesome. And then a lot of times again, when you're talking posts, reach within the team. I was helping this girl, Marcy, at our her karate studio event. And I got to meet 2 team members that I hadn't met before. And so the first thing I said is, hey, can I feature you on a transformation? Because the one girl came up to me, she's a competitor, said she's lost 40 pounds. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to shoot you a message. I want you to send me 2 or 3 non-scale victories what your scale victory is, and a picture. And it doesn't have to be a before and after picture, but I want a picture of you. So I actually took her picture right then and there, so I had it.
Yeah.
But now that you're having a team and they're hopefully having some victories, I would actually start with their transformations, because one, they're flattered. Two, it creates curiosity for you and them.
Yeah.
And you're showing them how to write their 30-second story by doing it. So you're hitting like multiple things in one simple post.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you feel I can help you with, something we talked about that doesn't seem doable or you're not even agreeing with, or?
No, I think the thing that sticks out the most is thinking through the different kinds of things that I can be posting and not having them all be the same. Like thinking through sharing more transformations and being really consistent with something every day, but it not always being the same thing.
Right.
That's been part of my fear, is like, I don't want every single thing that I'm posting to be identical all the time.
Right. And like if you use a crock pot, or you go and buy an Instapot, or Julie Patterson just told me about air fryers. I've never even heard of an air fryer.
Yeah.
That can be something simple. Again, your working out posts are always fantastic, but and being proud of people. Like, you know, you could, just because I know who Micah is, like you could feature Micah, like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud. He's stepped out into faith and he's completely changed his lifestyle, and, you know, feature him, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that'll probably be one of the things to talk with. So during our team meeting at my house on Saturday, talk with the folks who are going to be there about, hey, are we comfortable with sharing each other's results and how we're feeling and that kind of thing.
Perfect. And I will definitely do that.
Cool.
So that's kind of where I wanted to come from tonight, was just making sure you guys remembered we have these scripts, but use them as guidelines and call them out as your own. Make sure to work on that consistency of either 3-3-1, 5-5-1, or 10-10-1. And then working on the consistency with the posts. Now, I am going to, in our Racing to Executive group, I put together tips, and it is mainly Facebook geared, but the algorithms and all that are constantly changing on Facebook. I am not one of those people to keep up with them.
Yeah.
But the main thoughts of branding yourself and how to use it are, even though I wrote this document 3-4 years ago, 70% of it is going to be relatable. Some of it has changed, like the biggest changes with Facebook. So I will tell you, with Facebook, the biggest thing to do on a consistent basis is Facebook Live. That is what pops people's feed to the top and gets activity and interaction going. So I'm trying to do a Facebook Live once a week. I haven't been as consistent with that, but I am trying. And I do different things. Like I did one of my biggest ones I did was I have all these hormonal things going through menopause. And so I did this thing on maca root. I think I got 500 views on maca root.
Oh, wow.
Who knew that one was going to be so big? I did one a couple days ago, and I thought of it as I was rowing at Orange Theory about finish lines. How often do people put a goal and stop before they hit the finish line, or walk through it, or are you dashing through the finish line? Like it can be mindset stuff that I know for Facebook Lives are huge in changing your algorithms.
Yeah.
I have no idea about Instagram. And does Instagram do live like Facebook does?
Instagram can do live video. It all goes onto your Instagram story. But it doesn't give this thing.
Story thing.
The story thing is, it's like, it's only there for 24 hours. So you can do it live, but it doesn't stay on your feed. It's totally separate from your feed, and it's temporary. And on Facebook, like when you go live on Facebook, I have a notification pop up on my phone that says Jody Whittaker is now live. And then on Instagram, it doesn't send you a notification that somebody is doing a live
that
video.
Could be the difference between the two and how you use them differently. Eric Worre is always a fan of having 2 social media outlets. I actually dabble in 3. Instagram is my least one I dabble in. I'm not comfortable at all on Instagram. But LinkedIn and Facebook. So LinkedIn, I do more articles from isagenixhelps.net and more business posts regarding the financial lifeline.
Okay.
I will throw some physical transformations in there too, but I try and do more articles and wealth creation in that one. So you can dabble in all three,
Yeah.
But,
and that's one of the things.
too.
That's one of the things, thinking through like the target age group that we're working with. People who are closer to your age group are going to be much more active on LinkedIn than people in my age group. I don't know anyone under the age of 30 who uses LinkedIn on a regular basis. So it's just a difference in who we're targeting with those different things.
Right. So, so that's the biggies, is I want to make sure we're all, having that consistency at home, having the consistency in connections, having the consistency in social media, because I am not kidding when I say 80% of our business comes from social media. So if we're not using it, we're missing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big part in it. And I don't want to ever have you guys ever feel like I am just drowning you in to-dos. What I'm trying to do is teach you skills. But I will say too, I'm going to encourage everybody that sometime in the month of October to throw together a sampling event. I don't care when, I don't care if you do, I don't care the format. If you want to do a smoothie bowl party, if you want to do it as a sip and sample, if you want to do it as, I know for some of you online, if you want to do it with the new essential oil line and they're calling them essence parties, and do an essence party. Like, I don't care what it looks like, but again, it's these actions that are going to create the people of, okay, I'm ready now, or, oh, I didn't know you had that solution. So again, see if that works in your schedule, but I'm going to encourage everybody to have one event sometime during the month.
Okay.
Any questions? Anything else I can help you with?
I don't think so tonight. If I think of anything, I can always text you. I'm just really looking forward to having you guys here on Saturday. It'll be fun.
It is going to be fun. So those of you who don't know, and which brings me to our next comment. It's a good thing you said that. So Sunday night, I'm traveling back from Waco. I'll be in an airplane that we won't have a call next Sunday.
Okay.
That we can either skip that week or we can move it to a different day, and we can kind of play that by ear. The other thing is I do record. I try and remember to record each sessions. So I will have a call on Wednesday morning, the 10th, with my 11:30 group coaching call, that if you want, since we're skipping Sunday night, I can just record Wednesday's call and then use that. Although I will tell you, you guys are kind of ahead of them, because I'm going to be talking to them about I'm going to talk to them about social media this week. So we would be on the same topic by then, that if you want, I could just record the call on the 10th and you guys can just watch it at your own time.
I mean, either one works for me. We can,
Let's do that. I'm going to put to record and then have you guys on your own, since we won't have a call on the 7th, just sometime after the 10th. So like between the 10th and the 14th, just watch the call so that you're up to speed on what we're doing.
Okay.
When we call on the 14th, it'll be Randy's birthday. So y'all can say happy birthday.
Yeah.
So it's all good. So I will be in Waco. We get there Friday. I think we land at like 1 or 1:30. I have no idea what we're doing. What's the temperature there?
Right now, I mean,
I was recording since we're talking Waco.